At 5:04, just 24 hours from now, history will be made in Virginia. Abigail Spanberger will be sworn in as the Commonwealth's 75th governor and the first woman to ever hold the office. I sat down with Spanberger to reflect on the weight of this moment.
Not just do I want to do an exceptionally good job for Virginia and for Virginians, but I also recognize that I'm setting an example and that people are looking to the job that I do. And I think we'll make it just that much easier for the next woman who runs for governor into the future.
All right, Jess Arnold joining us now with a look at some of, Spanberger's top priorities once she's sworn in. Jess, as the first woman to hold this office, expectations, they're high. The bar is high, and she's being judged on a really tough set of metrics here.
Absolutely, and their expectations are probably also high because of her bipartisan record. People are looking to see that transfer over into her governorship. Now, I want to move forward and talk about some of these priorities that you mentioned. Of course, we have Democrats who are controlling both the Senate and House of Delegates in Virginia. So they're focusing on 4 constitutional amendments related to redistricting, same-sex marriage, voting rights, and abortion rights. So I want to start with 2 that advanced last session. We have marriage equality and voting rights here. Now, Virginia's Constitution currently defines marriage as being between one man and one woman, but it's unconstitutional under current federal law because of the 2015 Supreme Court decision legalizing same-sex marriage nationwide. The amendment Virginia Democrats are pushing now would prohibit authorities from denying marriage licenses based on sex, gender, or race, regardless of what happens at the federal level. Now, another key priority is voting rights. This amendment would automatically allow former nonviolent felons to vote when they finish their prison sentences, as well as serve on a jury and run for public office. Now, right now, the governor needs to individually grant voting rights to people who have been released from incarceration. Now, Simone, you sat down with Governor Spanberger to talk about all of these amendments as well as her priorities. One of them that she has continued to emphasize is affordability. What all did she say about that?
Right. It was really interesting because, she has this affordability agenda that she is really making the cornerstone of her whole campaign, as you touched on a bit. But she was telling me that, look, daily costs are just outpacing what people are making. It's as simple as that. And Virginians are constantly talking about that as a pain point of, hey, I make good money, but I can't meet my bills, my housing, my groceries. There's not much left once you've paid your main, things. And so she is going to try and change that. And she was very clear that it's not going to happen quickly.
Right.
It'll be more of a phased approach.
Right. And some of the delegates were saying, too, with these constitutional amendments, we have to enshrine these rights in order to gain affordability in the long run, like you said, playing the long game.
And having the Democratic, wind to her back, so to speak, with the legislature. You and I have been talking, of course, they're a separate governing body, but look, her influence on them is going to be huge, and watch for them to work in tandem to a large degree.
We have a lot more to talk about. One of the big ones is redistricting. That's a controversial one, so we'll talk more about that coming up at 6.
All right, we'll see you soon, Jess. Thank you. And when history is made, we'll be right there. Starting at 11:30 tomorrow morning, we will stream the entire ceremony live on WUSA 9+. I'll be anchoring live from Richmond with what this moment means and what comes next for Virginia. Again, our live coverage begins at 11:30 on WUSA 9+. All right.